how did you find out about feminist ideas, and when did you start to find out about the problems with the gender ideology that might harm women?
Um, I think it's around like 2 or 3 years ago when I first entered university. Uh, I was exposed to a certain feminist book that covers almost all feminist, the all all roots or all roots of feminism, all kinds of feminism, that is written by Rosemary Tong. And then I was studying feminism, like feminism, intersectional feminism, for until 2018. And then there is a certain case in UK in which I heard that there was a trans women that hit a 60-year-old lady in front of a court, that say that when the lady was recording the violence of the trans women, and then it hit me. It kind of made me think, like, have we always not aligned like this? What is happening? What is actually happening in the feminist community? What are the differences between each kind of feminism and other kinds of feminism? And then I started to learn the radical feminism. I started to learn about radfem and things that I agree that women should be, what constitutes as women is an adult human female and no more than that. So that's all, I think.
Right, and can I just ask, April, are there many other women who agree with you in Indonesia, or are you quite unique?
There are actually several women that agree with me, but most other than that, like in the radfem community in Indonesia is very small. Like it only consists of 5 or 6 people. That as far as I know. Other than that, mostly as I said, Indonesia is very conservative. Like they don't agree that men can become women, and that if a man performs femininity, then it should be a woman and not a man, something like that. But in the leftist movement in Indonesia, it's actually apparent that many people agree that trans women are women when they are not. Um, it's kind of hard for radfem community in Indonesia to raise their voice, raise their concerns about women's rights, because in the left, because there was this gender debate is disturbing and is very, I don't know what's the word, very very tearing the movement apart.
First, I really don't have any interest in feminism and activism. So only months ago, I started reading about Radfem texts. Uh, I first stumbled upon the article Fallon Fox, who beat a woman, who crushed her skull. So I'm really surprised by how violent these men are to women, that they infiltrate the women's sports, and it is possible, and it happened. So I was kind of taken aback by the news. So I started researching more. I haven't heard any of this. They did not. The mainstream activism here doesn't know anything about radical feminism. So we've been looking for other Radfem Filipinas to further stand with us. So uh, I found out that Minochka Rosca, if you know her, the famous author, activist in the Philippines, who stood who stand with J.K. Rowling. I saw her comment on Facebook that she stood with J.K. Rowling, but that is a very important for us, that there is still a famous activist here in the Philippines who stood her ground on the truth. So that's all. So it is very hard for us now to speak about radical feminism texts because the first time I've publicly tweeted something about trans women are not women, I've been dogpiled by the activists calling me names, messaging me, harassing me, telling me to eat shit or something. So yeah, so I come to realize that this social contagion is very harmful to us, and uh, I think this is my place to here. This is my place here to stood by this for women. I think I have hope for the Philippines to further change their stance on the gender ideology.
And 5 years ago, on internet was my first step in feminism. Uh, my problem with trans ideas was the absurd of the ideology, the aggressive way to convince people. Nothing has sense to me. Science don't support their argument, so that was the key to refute them.